Hey everyone, Sirturmund here again. Today I'm gonna bring you guys something a little bit different and a little bit more serious again than my usual deck gameplay videos. So today I kind of wanted to do a kind of more like an opinion piece on a deck that started becoming more popular here in this past week. And I think there's a lot of discussion on Twitter, Reddit, and other social medias, Discord, on this deck and how people should be reacting to this deck. So the deck that I'm talking about, if you're not aware of it, is Akshan infinite combo. And I say infinite with quotation marks because I think, and that's going to be one of the first points I'm going to discuss, I think there's a big difference between something being an infinite combo and something actually trying to win that just ends up taking 5-10 minutes to win instead of the usual, I don't know, 2-3 minutes, right? What I mean by that is that I think a deck that's just trying to hold you hostage and not trying to win, which we have seen before in LOR. We have seen decks like this before in LOR that are just completely going infinite, 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 never winning the game, just holding you hostage there for like an hour. That's not okay. That's absolutely wrong, and people should be ashamed of playing a deck like this. However, decks like this one, which are just take a long time to get to the win condition, I think while I don't like them personally, as long as the game allows them to, I think they're okay. What I mean by that is that this deck actually is trying to win. And I think that's a big difference that people are ignoring when they're discussing this deck and getting upset about this deck existing. Like, this deck is not trying to hold you there forever. Yes, the combo takes 5 minutes sometimes, maybe even more. Some good players can get the combo done in 3 minutes. Like, it takes a while. I will not disagree with that. And it's boring just sitting there as they just do their combo non-stop. But they're actually trying to finish the game, whether it's through the parallel convergence or through the Charming Swarm. They're actually able to win the game, which is the big difference between this and what I would call an actual infinite deck. So before we move on to like other points that I wanted to make in this video, let's quickly go through the deck and what this deck actually is for those who are not familiar with it. So this is an Akshan, I guess Akshan Shurima PNC, so it's only Akshan, you don't play any of the champions. The idea with this deck is that you're comboing out, so you're using the Akshan, you'll get the Warlord's Palace, whatever. Really what's important here is the Warlord's Horde, and more importantly, the Phantom Power. So you're able to use the Phantom Power, and with the PNC tools like counterfeit copies, you're able to duplicate that Phantom Power. So remember, Phantom Power draws you 2 cards and reduces the cost of your cards by 1. Meaning that if you're able to use multiple Phantom Powers, all of a sudden you end up with a full hand that has like 0 cost cards and you can keep replaying over and over again. The whole deck is kind of going with that idea in mind, right? So it's playing counterfeit copies, right? It's playing careful preparation that can let you predict into it and get copies of it. Your Clockwork Curator is just there to get your landmark progress sooner. Really, one of the big combo pieces of this deck is Station Archivist and Interlude Improvement, right? So eventually, after 3 Phantom Powers, your Station Archivist costs 0. So you can play a Station Archivist for free. And because you're looking at the 5 top cards of your deck, it is likely that you're gonna get something like a Time Trick, or you're gonna just get another Phantom Power that you copy with counterfeit copies right away, allowing you to get that Phantom Power and continue your combo of like not infinitely, but continue your combo off so that you can actually get your win condition when you actually need it. And then obviously you can do the iterative improvement to actually copy the Archivist to be able to get to that situation. And then really what makes this deck work is the introduction of Phantom Times. So Phantom Times gives you the instant Century, meaning you're able to use this and right away be able to trigger your Warlord's Horde if it has 4 or less, because otherwise it usually would have taken you until like turn 9 or 10. Now you can get this combo off in around like turn 7 or 8. Really, I mean, again, that's what the deck is. Eventually, you're drawing pretty much your whole deck out until you have the Charming Swarm in your hand and you have the Parallel Convergence, right? Because the Parallel Convergence lets you start free attack with ephemeral copies of each ally. So if you have 6 of these on the field, then you're starting a free attack with 6 of them. And then if you have an attack token, you can attack again. So that's kind of how this deck combos out. Now, granted, it's what I was talking about, what people don't like about this deck. That combo turn of then doing the phantom power and duplicating and doing station archivist takes a while. And during that whole time, you as the opponent really don't have anything to do, right? Because you have to wait for them to do their combo. And that's what people don't like. People are calling this being held hostage. And I absolutely disagree with that. Like I was just explaining before, there is a big difference between a deck that's just actually holding you hostage versus a deck that's actually trying to win. And this deck is actually trying to win. And I think that's the key difference that you got to remember as we discuss the other points in this video. So one of the points that I wanted to bring up is what we might consider fun, right? So at the end of the day, this is a card game. This is supposed to be a video game, right? That is a card game. People are playing this for fun. Now, granted, a lot of us are super competitive, so we're just trying to play this competitive, try to get to the top of the leaderboard, try to win some tournaments. Some of us are even making money out of this. But at the scope of things, it's still all about fun. Now, I understand why people are getting upset about this, because it's not fun to be in the receiving end of this, because you're just sitting there not really able to interact or do anything as they do their combo. It probably takes, like I said, probably takes 5 minutes, or it might take more depending on how slow the person piloting the deck is. And that can be not fun for a lot of people. However, you also have to remember the person playing the deck. For one reason or another, if they find this style of gameplay fun, then that's fine for them to play it. As long as Riot allows it and they're actually trying to win, I think it's okay for someone who finds this type of style fun to actually play it. An example is, if you guys have been watching me, you guys know I really don't play Control that much. I just don't like Control games. And the reason that I don't like Controls is because I actually hate like games that get dragged on forever. And my biggest thing when I play Control is whenever I run into like another Control matchup or I go into a mirror matchup. And then the games, instead of being 10 minutes max, become 20 or 30 minutes. That's my personal preference because I don't like Control. I like aggro, I like mid-range, I like stuff like TK Raka, Rally, Lee Sin, Banditry, decks that other people don't consider fun, right? Decks that people literally complain about a lot. But I found them fun, so I ended up playing those decks. Even if the other person on the other side of the screen wasn't having their own fun. This is not any different than that, right? This is not any different than that because the person playing this deck is having fun, you know? Unfortunately, that's how card game metas are. Sometimes it's going to be some decks that people are going to enjoy, and sometimes it's going to be decks that people are going to hate going against, right? Like currently right now, how many of you guys actually like going against Trolls? Like how many of you actually like going against Trolls? I think that's what I'm trying to get at. Like, it's a matter of perspective of who's had or like fun and people that enjoy things like this. Because what I'm seeing happening is that people that are playing this deck on ladder are getting attacked. People are being super toxic versus them, calling them names, etc., or even just roping them in the game. Why would you do that? Why would you become toxic? Because you don't like the deck that the opponent is playing. And that's my problem with this current topic of this deck. Like, there's a lot of people out there that are like, I don't like the deck that they're playing, so I'm gonna rope you the whole game, or I'm gonna go on Twitter and call you names, or I'm gonna call you out and whatever, right? I think Kato kind of said it best on a tweet that he just made today. Let me see if I can pull it up right here. So, if you artificially extend the length of the game by roping every action because you're ass mad your opponent is beating you with a deck that you don't like, then you're a child. Either pass and let them end the game in 5 minutes, or FF. And I completely agree with this. Like, if you're actually so upset about this deck and you don't like playing against it, just surrender. You don't need to stay in the game. Just surrender. Or just turn on auto pass and go do something else. But like, you cannot be toxic against someone playing this deck. That's like that makes you toxic. Like you're doing worse than them. You're artificially extending the length of the game when the opponent could literally be able to finish in like 5 minutes with their combo if you let them. Right? If you really think that you're gonna lose and they already have their combo off, then just surrender. Now, I understand that some of you guys are very competitive. You guys want to climb and you don't like surrendering just like that out of the bat, and that's completely okay. If you're the competitive mindset player, then just turn on auto pass, right? It is an option in the game where you can enable auto pass and the game will just pass for you. Because there is a chance, I'm not gonna deny it, there is a chance that the opponent whiffs their combo. So if you're the competitive person and you want those rank points, then don't surrender. Just enable auto pass, let the opponent do their combo, and there's two things that are gonna happen. After 5 minutes, they're either gonna whiff their combo, meaning that you're gonna win, or they're gonna finish their combo and you lose, right? But at least you have that chance. You still have the chance to potentially win. Or you can play a deck that can counter it, right? There's different things that you can do. So you can play decks that are going to be well versus this deck, whether it's going to be... I haven't looked that deep into the stats just yet, but there are some stuff that can disrupt the combo, right? The opponent will rely a lot on action and trying to level up action. So being able to remove their landmarks early, being able to remove their action early, might be one of the ways that you're able to actually beat them, right? Or even doing stuff that's just gonna disrupt their combo, or trying to beat them faster than they can combo out on you. There's different options out there, but that's besides the point. My main point here is that, please, if you run into this deck, don't be toxic into the person just because you don't like the deck. I don't like going against control. I absolutely hate it. Anytime I queue up against Field of Rush, I'm like, come on, you know. Every time I queue up against even throw, sometimes I'm like, are you serious? Another throw player? But you don't see me roping them, right? Think about back on the Ari Cannon meta. The Ari Cannon mirrors will take like 20 to 30 minutes, sometimes even longer. You didn't see people roping each other there, right? Like, there have been decks that take long times in LOR. Control decks, some other combo decks, and that's fine as long as they're actually trying to win. Just because you don't like this style of how the opponent is trying to win doesn't make it okay for you to be toxic against them. And that's one of the main things that I want you to take away from this video. Do not be toxic. Now, if you think that it's a waste of time and that you're wasting your time whenever you queue up against this deck, just surrender. Just surrender. Like, just move on to the next game. You know, it might not be fun, but like, you see the data, you're gonna get tilted out of your mind, right? So just move on. Just move on and let it go. Let me see. So we address the toxicity. We address like how fun can be subjective, and everybody has their own style of fun. I have a member of my Discord who loves this style of deck, and I'm not gonna hate them because of that. Like, that's their thing. Again, I love decks that people find toxic. TK Raka, Banditry, Lee Sin, Relia. Those are some of my favorite decks in LOR history. And I bet you so many of you guys hate those decks and find them uninteractable. It's not different than this deck, right? It still doesn't make it okay to attack someone just because of their preference or how they like to play the game or how they like to have fun. It's just how it is. This deck is actually trying to win. So yeah, I think at this point I'm being redundant. Now, although I personally will not play this deck because you guys know me. I don't like playing control because games take too long. I play my matches super fast. Sometimes for my own detriment. Sometimes I misplay because I'm playing too fast and end up not thinking things through. But that's okay. I'm okay with the fact that I misplay all the time because I play fast. Because to me, I just want to move on and get this game done and move into the next one. So I would not personally ever play a game like this. A deck like this. But I ran into people playing this deck and I'd be completely fine going against it. Again, I just turn on auto pass, go do something else, come back in 5 minutes. Either they won or they lost, and that's it. You know? What I do want to do though is I want to showcase this deck for you guys. So I'm gonna play it against the computer, the AI, just so that I can walk you guys through. If you're interested in this style of deck and you want to play this deck, I'm not gonna hold you against it. I'm gonna help you out by kind of teaching you how to play it. So actually, before we jump into the game, there's one last point that I wanted to make that I almost forgot about, and it's what Riot should do about it. Now, I will admit, right, I did discuss about fun being subjective and stuff like that. I will admit that this is probably not how Riot wants their game to be, right? Riot probably doesn't want games to be taken, for one player to be taking 5-10 minutes on their turn as they try to win. So I am expecting that Riot will probably actually address this. How they do it, I'm not sure. But I'm pretty sure they're going to end up somehow stopping you from being able to go infinite, because they have done it before, right? Before, when you actually had like actual hostage decks, they went ahead and stopped that, right? They put a limit on how many times you can use like a spell in a single turn. They put a limit on how many units you can summon in a single turn. They have put limits to try to limit how infinite you can go and holding people hostage. Now, again, I don't know how they're gonna feel about this deck, because this deck is actually trying to win and actually, trying to do something, right? Now, I don't think Riot's gonna like the fact that you do have the deck doing well in ladders. So you have people like Lucerbeam, who's currently like 21 with the deck, right? You have multiple teams that brought it to the semifinals of Aegis Esports this Thursday. They are, the deck is actually performing well in some stats when people know how to use the deck. So Riot might not be a fan of that because of the style of this deck. Riot might not like the fact that 5% of the people might enjoy this deck and the other 95% have to suffer against it. So I do think that Riot is probably going to nerf it somehow or limit the infinite combo. And that's okay. If they go ahead and do that, that's okay. But as long as the deck is legal and it's not holding people hostage, then the deck is completely fine, guys. It's completely fine. You shouldn't get upset. You shouldn't get upset about it. And should not be attacking people with it, on it. Like, it's just a game. It's really not that serious. They'll address it eventually and call it a day. But anyways, so let's actually jump to that little bit of a deck showcase. I know it's not against another player. We're going to play against the AI, but this is a combo deck, right? So I just want to show you guys how the combo actually works and how you get to that position of actually being able to do the combo. Now, Rider Calling is amazing. Vagabond is also amazing. I think this is a good hand to keep because we're able to get the action early on, and we have the Vagabond as well to be able to progress that. Oh well, we end up getting action anyways. So now again, you're looking to flip action, get the Warlord's Horde, and then start duplicating the Phantom Power. That's a little bit too many actions. Now, a real player is not gonna attack here. Obviously, the computer's gonna attack, so whatever, we'll take it. Again, we're just trying to showcase how this combo is gonna work. So we'll go ahead and just take the attack, call it a day. I'm gonna open attack before the opponent can summon something that can block action. This is so bad. We have, oh my goodness, that was 3 top deck actions in a row. That was actually triple top deck action in a row. I guess we can sacrifice the action, right? And be able to use the other 2 action, but now it does make the Rattle Calling a little bit worthless, which is kind of annoying. Let's do this. Let's just trigger this right now. So that every attack now is gonna, like if the opponent actually attacks, is gonna be advancing our Warlord's Horde, right? Now, I think at this point, we wanna be able to start getting into stuff that's gonna like duplicate our stuff for us, right? Oh. The Careful Preparation is not bad. The Sands of Times is really good as well, because he lets us, I think it has to be Time in a Bottle though. Time in a Bottle is both a predict and advances our landmark, right? We end up getting the Sense of Time anyways. But I don't know if we need Sense of Times. I think that we need, at this point, we need our combo pieces, right? So we need our counterfeit copies, right? So that we can actually copy the palace, the horde. So let's see. It might actually require us to have to hit this twice for us to actually get the combo off. We might actually have to do the Warlord's Horde twice for us to get the combo off. Which, because we have multiple action in our hand, is actually not impossible to hit. So I think I'm gonna commit to that. I think we're gonna assume that we're gonna miss. Like this first one is gonna be just a wash, because we didn't get our counterfeit copies. We can sacrifice action. Okay, well, okay, well, never mind. I still think we go about it this way, right? Still think we go like this. Let the opponent do their thing. Let's go ahead and just copy it right now. Obviously, we have to draw right now. Call it a day. We could summon the second action.
I don't need rules to know good from bad.
I'm trying to question if I want to combo this turn. I don't know if I want to, but I mean, everything is already reduced by 1. We could potentially predict into it. We get the sense of time, which means that we're able to trigger this again, potentially. So this is nice because he can let us advance this, right, by 1. We have the time, we have the interim improvement. Oh, we don't get it. I was hoping that we could get the Warlord's Hole right here, because if we did, we would have been able to actually do everything else that we have. I think we actually just whiffed right here because we ended up going all in for it right now. So I think we just take it slow and just start again next turn. Because we're gonna get this trigger next turn anyways. Yeah, so I think we just take it slow here. We gotta play this now for 0 cost. We have 3 more copies of it in our deck. Actually, 4 more copies, right? 4 more copies of our deck. We start with it. So the good thing about this deck is that you don't actually have to like do it like at this moment. Sorry, you don't have to actually attack, right? I'm gonna go like this first. And then I'm gonna go here. Right? So the time trick here means that we potentially can draw into more. Then we sense the times. And now we do the countdown. So we advance the landmark by 4. We get the Warlord's Hole again. So now everything's going to be reduced one more time. We get another one. Okay, so now we have the combo off, right? The question is, I actually think I need to be able to potentially draw 3, 6, 7. I need to see if I can draw into a counterfeit copies. Perfect. So there's what I'm looking for. I was like, I need a counterfeit copy, because if I don't have the counterfeit copies, I'm not able to continue doing this over and over again. I'm even gonna do the time in a bottle right here, potentially get. Don't want any of this, so I'm gonna skip. And this is where we get crazy, and this is where it gets crazy, right? Look at this. So we have Archivist and Iterative Improvement, which means that everything now is gonna be like completely reduced, right? Oh my goodness. 3, 6, 7. Now we know there's another one of this in the top of our deck, so I think I actually want to draw it first, instead of potentially drawing it later. Let's do this. Let's do this so that we reduce our hand size. And this is what people complain about, right? Like, it takes forever to actually get the combo going now, because look, we don't really have any of our cards in any of our winning cards. Oh, I say that, and we draw the Tommy Swarm. So the Tommy Swarm is what we need to be able to actually finish this game. Let's do one more draw. Okay, well, I wanted to do one more draw, see if we can get the Parallel Convergence. This is not a Parallel Convergence. We have another Interactive Improvement, which can combine into another copy here. It's the same thing as us doing the Sentinel's Horde, though. I guess it's not really. I guess this actually lets us draw a little bit more. We can counterfeit copies for more of it. This is actually tough. I'm trying to, I actually have to think about this, and I'm thinking going against the AI. So, again, I'm completely new to this deck, so I don't know right off the bat, like, what the best decisions are, but you can see the idea of the combo here. Like, now that we have everything reduced, we just continue playing our Archivists and our units over and over and over and over again. I'm gonna just go ahead and do this. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's do this. Oh, we could have actually killed the action, to be honest. But look, we have the Swarming Torm, so no matter what we do, it's gonna be pretty good for us. So what I'm trying to look for here, I'm trying to look for the Parallel Convergence. So I think the Parallel Convergence is going to be really good, because it will allow us to actually, like, it will allow us to actually be able to present lethal. Although, again, we can just present lethal right here. Now, if you have an opponent like this that already has lethal and they just continue playing it, then that's a mistake. But technically we have lethal, right? We technically have lethal. I just want to see if we get a pilot convergence, because I feel like that'd be a cooler way to show off the combo than if we don't have it.
We'll see which one of us is.
So I'm gonna continue. Again, at this point we could just win with the Torm, but I kind of want to get the pilot convergence on the field instead. Don't get it. How many cards? We have 12. Oh, there we go. So here we go. So this is where the combo kind of comes in. So you get your cold shot. So you get a pilot convergence in your deck, right? We can try to predict into it. So we can try to predict into it. There we go. And then we draw it here. And now this is where it kind of gets nasty, because you can do the Torm to completely fill your board. But you see what I'm talking about. It took me a while because I'm completely inexperienced with this deck. But this is a deck that's actually trying to win, because now you just go like this. You get rid of your whole board because everything costs 0. This thing gets summoned over and over again. You can pilot convergence, get a free attack. So now you get a bunch of ephemerals. This is a full like troll, right? This is like trolls, except my units stay alive. Oh, opponent actually has stuns. Okay, that's still again. But you see, we still have the attack token, by the way, so we can attack again. So I'm gonna pause right here. This is what I'm talking about. This deck is actually winning, right? It took me a while because I don't know how to play the deck. Like, this is only like my 3rd time trying this deck. I tried the deck a couple more times against the AI before this game that you guys have seen, and I messed up the combo multiple times before I got it right. I don't know how to play this deck, so it took me, well, I think my recording says about, this is a 10-minute match that just happened here in total, and that includes the first beginning turns and me talking right now. The combo itself probably took me like 5 to 6 minutes, and again, it's because I don't know about it that much. A player that plays this deck enough and learns how to play this deck, and is actually trying to win and trying to do the combo fast, will be able to get there much quicker than I got here. And that's why I don't have a problem with this deck, because it's actually trying to win. It's not trying to keep you hostage forever. It just needs to draw the combo pieces, which are usually the Torming Swarm, right? So you get your Torming Swarm pieces on the field, and then you get your Pilot Convergence, which you guys saw just used right now. It's pretty much an unbeatable combo, because the only way that the opponent can stop it at that point is to be able to deny the Pilot Convergence. But then even like Ruination doesn't stop it, because you get these cards back for free in your hand. So you're able to just get them over and over, even if the opponent ruinates your whole board right here. So this is like the way that you win with an unstoppable combo. And that's why it takes a while, because they want to get to the position where they just automatically win no matter what you have in your hand. So again, a small showcase of how this deck works and how the combo will turn out. There's multiple ways that you could whiff it, and there's multiple ways of you can get unlucky, and decisions that you could make. But really the whole idea is that you're copying this card over and over again. And look, we used it 13 times this game. So we used Fountain Power 13 different times. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Anyways, I'm gonna finish up the video right here. So please keep in mind the points that I've made. Please do not be toxic against people playing this deck. It is a legal deck at the moment. If Riot deems that it is a problem, they're going to address it. We have a patch coming up on Tuesday that they can address it then, or they can address it in another patch in the future. As long as it's a legal deck, it's not any different than playing Tiki Raka, than playing Trolls, than playing Bandletree, Field Rush, Trolls, any other deck that you can think of that people hate playing against. It's not any different than that. It just takes a while to get the combo going. If you really don't like playing against this deck because you don't want to do nothing for 5 minutes, just put Auto Pass or put Surrender. It's just that simple. But anyways, as always, if you like the content and if you like this style of videos, my first time kind of doing like an opinion piece like this, let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like the video. Make sure to subscribe to us. We post LOR videos every single day. And you can also find us on Discord and Twitter, where we post random stuff. And you can also find us on Twitch at Sirturmund, where we stream 3 to 4 times a week. Here we go, beating up on the poor AI. You kind of see how the combo ended up working out. So yeah, again, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all again tomorrow.